This is Emergency Communication Protocol 77 Alpha. All personnel are advised that the following transmission contains classified information. Regarding Lunar Incident 27L distribution is restricted to authorized personnel only. At exactly 21:47 Greenwich Mean Time on August 28, 1998, observational stations across 3 continents reported an impossible phenomenon. The moon, that silent witness to human civilization, had changed color. Not the subtle reddish hue of a lunar eclipse, but a deep, penetrating purple that seemed to emanate from within the lunar surface itself. Spectral analysis equipment registered wavelengths between 380 and 450 nanometers, with luminosity exceeding normal full moon conditions by 340%. The purple lunar emission continued for 72 consecutive hours. During this period, ground-level atmospheric monitoring detected the formation of an unprecedented meteorological anomaly. A dense, violet-tinted atmospheric suspension began manifesting in populated areas worldwide. This substance demonstrated properties inconsistent with known atmospheric phenomena. Laboratory analysis revealed no identifiable chemical composition, no detectable odor, yet exposed individuals consistently reported auditory pressure sensations in the 0.2 to 0.8 Hz range. Federal Emergency Management Agency activated shelter-in-place protocols at 0600 hours on August 29. The directive was clear: remain indoors. Avoid exposure to purple atmospheric phenomena. Seek immediate medical evaluation for any sensory anomalies. The warning came too late. Initial exposure had already occurred across multiple population centers. Medical personnel began documenting exposure response patterns within hours of the first incidents. Stage 1 symptoms manifested within 4 hours of atmospheric contact. Subjects exhibited cognitive disruption patterns, spatial disorientation episodes, and an immediate instinctive aversion to reflective surfaces. Stage 2 commenced between 4 and 24 hours post-exposure. Dermal pigmentation shifted to a grayish-purple tone. Ocular structures underwent rapid modification, and skeletal systems began reconfiguring at anatomically impossible angles. Stage 3 represented the most disturbing development. Cellular regeneration accelerated beyond normal human parameters, creating complete resistance to conventional termination methods. Subjects entered a behavioral pattern that emergency response teams designated as Purple Moon Worshipper Syndrome. During daylight hours, affected individuals displayed aggressive hunting behavior, tracking human targets through enhanced olfactory and auditory capabilities. Their locomotion appeared erratic yet purposeful, demonstrating singular focus on human prey acquisition. The nocturnal behavioral pattern proved equally disturbing. At precisely 1800 hours daily, all aggressive activity ceased. Affected subjects assumed kneeling positions, faces directed toward the sky, maintaining complete immobilization while fixating on lunar position. This behavior continued until 0600 hours the following morning, suggesting a ritualistic response to lunar influence. Security footage from affected areas revealed the most unsettling aspect of the phenomenon. These creatures, once human, demonstrated complete immunity to conventional weapons, explosives, and physical trauma. Regeneration occurred instantaneously, seemingly without limitation. However, field observations identified a singular weakness. When exposed to reflective surfaces, particularly mirrors, affected subjects experienced immediate systemic collapse. Self-recognition appeared to trigger catastrophic failure in whatever force sustained their transformation radio. Intercepts from September 3 documented survivor communications. Station Delta 7 transmitted survival protocols to remaining uncontaminated populations. The message was clear: avoid direct lunar exposure during purple emission periods. Maintain reflective surface availability at all times. Do not engage with kneeling subjects regardless of prior identification, and monitor personal reflection consistency. The final directive carried particular significance. If you cannot see yourself in mirrors, evacuation is no longer viable. Classified documentation reveals that this phenomenon was not entirely unexpected. Project Selene 3, launched in March 1997, had conducted lunar surface mineralogy surveys. Mission reports documented crystalline formations exhibiting violet luminescence across multiple crater sites. Sample analysis data remains classified, but immediate quarantine protocols were initiated following mission completion. The connection between these lunar discoveries and the August 1998 incident remains under investigation. In the aftermath, a cult organization emerged from the affected regions. Calling themselves the Last Light, these individuals believe that infected subjects represent evolutionary advancement. They view the transformed humans as chosen children of a living lunar consciousness, destined to replace standard humanity. Membership estimates range between 200 and 500 individuals, with activities including ritual purple moon observation and active recruitment of transformation candidates. Current monitoring reveals ongoing atmospheric manifestations. The purple lunar emission continues on irregular schedules, accompanied by ground-level atmospheric suspensions. Affected subject populations continue expanding, following established behavioral patterns. They hunt during daylight hours, maintaining silent, methodical pursuit of human targets. At nightfall they assume worship positions, kneeling in unanimous lunar fixation. The survivors maintain underground communication networks, sharing critical intelligence through amateur radio frequencies. Their reports describe increasingly disturbing developments. Some affected subjects no longer cast reflections, suggesting transformation beyond recognition by physical reality itself. These entities appear immune to the mirror-based termination method, representing an escalation in threat classification. Field observations indicate that the phenomenon extends beyond terrestrial boundaries. Lunar surface monitoring equipment continues detecting unusual activity patterns during purple emission periods. The crystalline formations identified by Selena 3 appear to be expanding, suggesting active growth rather than dormant mineral deposits. This concludes Emergency Communication Protocol 77 Alpha. All personnel are reminded that this information is classified under Federal Emergency Management Authority. The purple lunar emissions continue. The atmospheric suspensions continue manifesting. The affected subjects continue their dual behavioral pattern, hunting humans during daylight, worshipping the moon during darkness, and when they finally turn their attention toward you, you may not be the first to see what they have become.